Today we are going to talk about innovation. Do you guys like innovation? I think pretty well everybody in this audience talks about innovation because we talk about it everywhere we are. And we're not talking about small stuff, we're talking about really big stuff. We're talking about going to Mars stuff and revolutionary stuff. But then we kind of ask ourselves, how are we going to do this? And how many times do we feel like this, right? We're going to innovate. We're going to innovate everything. And when we talk about innovating everything, what comes with that is what real innovation means. And so we start talking about that means actual new things, creative things, not what is in our current system things. And when we start talking about that, then somebody has to do that. And then we kind of panic, right? Because then we have to have these change makers. And so when we start talking about change makers, then we get this fear of not being enough, of being just. And that's what happens when we focus on this end product of innovation instead of the process of innovation that comes through it. And this is what stalls transformation because we allow fear to limit us. So if I were to ask you this today, if I were to ask you right now to stand up and decide whether or not you're going to be a change agent for innovation in your school, in your district, to be the leading voice for change, for creativity, for your kids, and to have to create a master plan of engagement for learning, how many of you would very meekly say, I'm just a teacher? Okay? It's okay. That's how we feel, right? Like we just barely kind of put our hands up there. But it's okay, because I'm in your same boat. Because right now I'm standing up here saying, I'm just a teacher. Because there's no reason on earth that I should be standing up here with all these mega rock stars that are about to come up here, because I am just a teacher from a tiny little Texas town and who is a little bit petrified that I'm going to mess this up today. But I'm also a mom to two beautiful kids, I think so, who are just kids. And when I look at these two faces, I don't see them as just. I see their hopes and their fears and their triumphs and their failures. I see their futures. And I see my Mason man as a big-hearted warrior who's going to change things for people who experience challenges. And I see my tenacious D, who is a rebellious change maker and shatters glass ceilings and circumstances all around her. Because my mama job is to help them be more than who they believe they are. My mama job is to help them believe that they are actually capable of the things that I see in them, to see their worth and their gifts to this world. And it's to challenge them to be strong and to be resilient and to help them become who they were meant to be. And our teacher job is just the same. So think to your classroom, to your kids, because we all have our kids, right? And once they come into your classroom, they're always your kids. So how many of them are just bad at stuff? And they're just not smart. And they're just not enough to be able to do the things that we want them to do. So think to your one that you saw that was more than just a knothead screw-up. And that was more than just the failed test. And that was more than just the child of a town drunk. Because you, as their teacher, looked beyond who they were. Because you saw them for what they could be. You build them up. You challenge them, you motivate them, you talk with them and not to them. You inspire them and love them. These kids right here were my students when they were in the 8th grade. Every single one of these kids graduated last Saturday. Now, I don't teach in this district where these kids are anymore. And so they have this tradition. This tradition is that they reach out to somebody who's been an influencer for them, that they feel has been a change maker in their life. And this is what I got. So these kids are all going to college, and they all texted me a picture of them holding up a sign that says that I am meant to be, and then they put on there what it was that they saw in themselves and where they want to go. And so I'm going to leave that there because I can't look at it too much longer. And as adults, we're just taller kids, right? What we want to do is we want to see our value and our time in this world as well. So hear me say this, that I guarantee that you are more than just. You are more than just a teacher. You are a champion for learning. You are a stabilizing force for your students, a fierce promoter of creativity and curiosity for your content and for your profession. You are a game changer, a rally maker, a courageous crusader. You are the spark and the voice and the change, and you are the model of what a change agent looks like, sounds like, and acts like. So what I'd like for you guys to do is to think about how you are going to be a change agent and think about what it is that you're meant to be. All right. Thank you, guys.